everyone, and welcome to Spoilers, obviously.
Spoilers, obviously.
I am your host, Joel, and with us, the Moses Moon.
That's me. That's me, everyone. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right. I'm just, sitting outside in the cold. It's all good.
Nice. How's the Purim? How's the holiday?
It was good. It was mainly worked the holiday season, watching everybody else dress up. And I just realized out of anything, if I wanted to dress up, it would just take a lot of effort. And I'm more than happy. As much as I love, going out there and have fun, I like my rest. I love my bed. I've been digging the new Harry Potter or the Hogwarts Legacy game. So yeah, I think I'd like to just, focus on those.
Nice, yeah. Stay home and play games. Awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, for the audience, as you might tell, we are a week late from this episode. I've been in reserves, and then a week later, Moses has been in reserve, and I also broke my pinky, so yay for that. But trying our best to give you the content. Anyways, let's jump into it.
Let's do it.
Today we are going to talk about The Last of Us, season 1, episode 6.
Yeah. A decent episode.
It was a very decent episode. And
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so episode 8 already came out, so I'm like all caught up. You are not that caught up.
Yeah.
So I am kind of getting confused in my head what happened in episode 6. So
I will lay it down. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay, so episode 6, we for some reason the new Mandalorian just popped in my head. I'm like,
also
IG-88 was what?
No, also a topic I would love to talk about.
Yeah, I'm all for it. We could do a switcheroo, but no. Episode 6 starts with a semi flashback of the previous two-parter, in which Joel and Ellie had witnessed the two brothers basically die one after the other within moments. The kid and the adult.
Oh, okay,
and yeah, we pick up after that. We find out that Ellie's become a little more competent in her ability to sort of fend for themselves, not necessarily her as an individual unit. Joel is starting to wear at the edges a bit. He's mumbling in his sleep. He's sleeping when he should be awake. He's losing a bit of his grit. And it's all, we find out later in the episode, like emotional devastating consequences from just years of this lifestyle. Anyhow, we pick up with them, and we that's actually prior to us opening. The opening is the flashbacks, and then we see them at a lovely young or old elderly native couple's cabin. Ellie pulls a dick move and steals a bunch of rabbits. They basically find out where they are, and they find out that, hey, don't cross this river. Basically, people die there. And so we're still on the mission of trying to return Ellie to the Fireflies and find Tommy, Joel's brother. They push out, Ellie and Joel, they push out further into the territories and are surrounded by horses, by these strange peoples, and one mysterious woman in the middle. After checking them out, before they decide what to do, she asks Joel who he is. Clearly there's some sort of connection. We snap forward as they're approaching this very, let's say, open town that is well defensed and seems to be has a lot of activity and bustling of the people inside, where we finally reunite with Tommy. The two brothers are elated to see one another, surprised, and there's a lot of emotions and some held back rage, more or less. we find out that the woman who asked who Joel's name was is Tommy's wife, and that they're living in a form of commune, except it's not actually a commune. It is an elected, what's the form of government? Elected social something. It's not communism, even though in the thing they're like, oh, it's communism. It's not. It's close to, but it's like a drastic survival social society. I'll look it up while we're chatting, but
they are a community. They're not communists. They're just, they built a community with the circumstances that they have. So
they are a commune, but it's called an elected something. It's a very particular form of government
way of living.
Yeah, anyways, basically Joel is wearing a phrase and he's like, I can't take Ellie anymore, so I'm gonna dump her on you, Tommy. Tommy is like, I guess I'll do this, though I have a kid on the way. Ellie overhears. There's some mild drama, but at the same time, it's good for character development because now we get to see a little more of the inside. And the next day, when they wake up and Joel's already at the horse and decides to be, you know what, Ellie should get the choice. Ellie obviously chooses Joel. They leave on good terms with the brother, and they leave the community heading towards the Firefly location. As they arrive, they see that everything is abandoned, basically. And there are no guards, no nothing. Everything seems to be stripped. They keep searching. There are monkeys on the facility, but who knew? And they find out that the Fireflies had left basically a week or two prior, not that much long ago. They find out that they're converging at a certain point, but just then, as they're like getting all this information, some raiders are scoping about the place, and so Ellie and Joel try to sneak out quietly, but get assailed, where Joel is stabbed by a baseball bat, and they ride away, where Joel is not presumed dead, but assumed to be in mortal conflict. And Ellie is freaking out. So that's basically the episode, all in a nutshell.
And in a very big nutshell, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna, with my memory, comment on everything you said, by how my brain works. So so you said Joel was stabbed by a baseball. So as I have said many times, I watch an episode and then I watch the game.
Yeah.
To not give myself spoilers. In the game, Joel sneak attacks, kills people left and right.
Hell yeah.
It's like his signature move. This entire show we didn't see even once. It's like, what the fuck? What was his signature move? Like, I want to see it. And right before he was stabbed, like during that exact same time, he sneaked attack some guy and he, breaks his neck and kills him. And
they get in a hold and then he snaps his neck. But yeah,
exactly. But that's his signature move. So when I saw that, like, oh, I was like hyped. I was like, fuck yeah, finally, his signature move. I loved it. It's like, most of the show is like exactly like the game. So I was waiting for that and I got it. I was like, fuck yeah. I was very happy about it and excited. The town where Tommy is. So from what I've heard, that town does not exist in the game. It exists in the second game. So the town is, compared to the game, they just found the place. They're now trying to make the electricity work with, with a river and all that. So they just found the town. So they're only now building up the town. It's still not as amazing as it is as we saw in the show. But in the show, they're like, let's just jump already into the town. It's been 20 years. Who knows? Why not? So okay, cool. No problem. I totally liked it.
This is also the episode where Ellie learns about Joel's daughter. They see the memorial.
Exactly. And in the game, she does not find out in that way, but yeah, she also finds out in this exact same scene about Joel's daughter. And and I have to say, like, Ellie was a little bitch. Like, I'm not your daughter, Joel. It's like Joel's like, shut up. Don't you. And it's like she finally finds a little more detail about him, and she is immediately using it as if against him. It's like, you're not family to me. You're just cargo. Like I've said this many times, you're just cargo. I don't want to be in this situation. All I want is to find my brother. Here I found my brother, but I'm not done with my mission, because my mission is to now help you. So like I could have been done. I could have been like, that's it. I'm with my brother. Go fuck yourself, Ellie. But
Yep.
no, I need to continue on. And she's like, using the fact that his daughter died, like kind of against him. And it's like, you don't know what I've lost. You don't know what I've gone through. And throughout the show, we've heard little bits here and there about Ellie, her background. We know she was bit somehow. We don't know when exactly. And she did tell us she killed someone, or it's not the first time she, did kill someone.
Yeah, via the school. So
Via this, exactly. So we don't know a lot of information about her, but we we kind of getting a little information about her, and it's nice. I do like, I want to see more of her background, or be nice. Like we didn't get a flashback in this like episode. I need to
yeah.
stop. I need to stop with the flashbacks, because so far we got only the beginning of episode 1, beginning of episode 2, the entire episode 3,
Yeah.
and then like 5 minutes, I think, of episode 4 or 5. So not a lot of flashbacks, but I want more flashbacks. I think it's awesome.
We need more flashbacks.
The other thing that really bothers me is this is a zombie show, and yes, the storyline over here, everything is perfect, is amazing. Each episode for me is minimum 8 and above. Like how many stars I'd give it, points, or it's minimum 8 above. Most of them are in the 9, some of them are in the 10. So it's a perfect and amazing show, but I'm missing the cordyceps. I want to see more zombies.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
we just had a whole bunch of them break out, so it's like, okay, all right.
yeah. So like, give me more of that.
There was
But
no consequences of that yet, so that was unfortunate. I wanted to definitely be like, yeah, I want to see more.
yeah, but that's basically, I do want to see, I do want to see more. But it's a show. What else? The Joel finds Tommy. He realizes that Tommy doesn't really need saving anymore. He's his own man, and kind of like saying like, "Oh, I have a kid on the way," is also kind of a little fuck you to Joel, because hey, your daughter died, and I'm gonna be a good dad. I'm gonna protect my daughter, and like he didn't say that, but
What
it's
he was
like,
saying was that, like, just because your life
ended.
stopped with the death of your child doesn't mean that, like, I can't, I had to stop with you.
Exactly. So, but still, I don't know. I felt like Joel's point of view. It's like, you fucking asshole. It's like you could have not said anything, but at the same time, I also understand Tommy. Like, hey, he wants to continue on with his life. He now lives in this community, so why not? Why be stuck in the past if he can thrive? But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then, like you said, at the end, Joel decides not to stay, and he does want to continue on with his mission. And I think that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the entire episode in a nutshell. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, it's a good little piece. I had a nice conversation with a friend of mine about it when we're talking about the idea of that they haven't really taken time to address the emotional complexities or the the depth that could be between, oh, pardon me, Joel and Ellie, and yet at the same time, so it's like this dual-sided coin of like, well, this was the episode where they did that, but at the same time, it felt unearned because we haven't been invested or we haven't been sharing in this whole ordeal between the two of them. But at the same time, whatever.
I don't know. I think they did a good job between the dynamic with Ellie and Joel. The only problem I had with Joel in this episode, it's the fact that out of nowhere he started like crying. It's like, I can't do this. You know, I'm old. You know, I can't focus. I'm breaking. It's like, this is out of character.
I mean, I agree, but at the same time, like under normal duress, like let's just say, like again, because I only played the game for so little, like I didn't get to really learn or invest in who Joel's character was, and so even if this seems left field, like as a show on its own, as this is just a man, like he's not a superhero, that this psychologically, you know, stuff like this takes tolls on people, and like it makes sense, you know. Especially when you see someone like you've reached your goal of trying to find your brother, and then you know, and then it just like it all kind of comes together because you're like, oh well, you know, I'm finally here. So I don't know. It felt like it made sense, but at the same time, I get where you're coming from. It was like, okay, yeah,
like,
but I don't have too much to say about that. Like this felt like a very generic episode, and so I'm waiting for the next one for me to watch that because I haven't watched it yet. To really like weigh it all together. This is an episode where it's like, okay, on its own, it's you know okay, but as a whole, with the entirety of the season, then I'm able to make a judgment call.
I want to say stuff, but you know, it might be spoilers for you.
I mean, this is spoilers, obviously. So
okay, so I'm not gonna do a huge thing. So as we know, this show is based on a game. There's also in games a DHL, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, downloadable content.
No, the
DHC DLC.
No, DLC,
sorry.
No, there's like, you know, here's some extra, you know, a game like that was not in the original game, but like more missions.
All right.
I think it's called
the business.
Yeah, like, you know, but if you want it, you need to buy it. It's like, I think it's called DHL. I don't really remember.
That's DLC.
DLC. Okay, so DLC. So
downloadable content.
Okay. So you have in the game DLC, and that DLC focuses mainly on Ellie and what happened in the mall, because they do tell us she was in a mall and she was bitten.
Right.
So this is what's going to be basically the next episode, episode 7.
Yeah, you mentioned something earlier about her flashback, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm excited for this.
Okay, so it's not a spoiler if I already mentioned it too. So
yeah.
Okay, so
context wise.
So that's basically the next episode for you, and
yay.
Yeah, but I personally like my theory from the very beginning. I have theorized that Joel is going to die in this season, and it makes perfect sense. And here he's stabbed by a baseball bat, and you know, that's a serious wound. And I have to say, it makes sense for him to die, because how do you want him to be in The Last of Us and at the same time in The Mandalorian? It's like same guy to like, he needs to die over here to go to do the missions in space, man.
Yeah, well, I'm okay with that either or. I know in the game lore he does die eventually, but the point, it may not be done the same way, but still. However, though, like if he survives this episode, like the next episode, I'm gonna have a hard time believing that, because wounds in a post-apocalyptic world, especially the one that he received, are death sentences, basically. So,
okay, well, I'm not gonna say anything if he lives or die, because I have to say episode 8 is one of the best fucking episodes.
I'm stoked.
That's
glad to hear it.
I'm not gonna say more than that.
I didn't hear any like reviews or anything, so I was like, okay, no one's saying anything that I'm aware of. So
okay, so episode 7, it's a good episode. You know, good background information.
Yep.
And episode 8 is fucking amazing. My point of view is 10 out of 10.
All right, and then all right. Well, we'll get into the final season discussion at the end of it all.
Yeah. We'll give more points. So yeah, I believe that's mainly everything, because we did kind of speed rush, you know, this episode. So
I might just say screw it and watch the next episode, and then we can just record that. I'll just watch the next 2 episodes, and then we'll do a recording until I go.
If that's what you want to do, I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah, fair enough. Got a busy schedule. Got to cram it in somewhere.
yeah. You know, we have that. We have the Mandalorian. We have Ant-Man, the Wasp: Quantumania.
I love the new Mandalorian. Like it feels so formulaic, but I love it. It's like, yep, we're back to script, boys. Here we go.
Yeah, and for the audience, this is a conversation we will get into later.
Hell yeah!
Very soon, I presume. But until then, I'm your host Joel, and with us, Moses Moon.
That's me.
We talked about The Last of Us season 1, episode 6. Give us 5 stars on Spotify and everywhere else. I'll put the link for the Hebrew podcast down below, and for Moses' Instagram show, radio show. And we are Spoilers, obviously. And until then, bye.
Bye-bye. Good. Nice. Clean marker. Yeah.